3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to Down to Mike's. Thanks for coming out. This is our first episode. I'm here with my buddy Tom, as I said I would be. Welcome everybody. We're going to just go ahead and dive right in. Tom, would you like to say hello?
How's everybody doing? I got roped into this to go hang out with y'all. So we're partaking in a few drinks to make this a little bit easier for you.
Well, you got to knock off the nerves.
That's right.
But I think I'm going to start with this. So I'm at work this morning, and I need fuel. I didn't even look down. I need fuel for the truck. So I'm out by the lake, and I stop into the gas station. I get gas, and there's people everywhere. I mean, the place is packed. I don't know if it's a bunch of fishermen or whatever. I get my gas. I need a receipt because I'm in the work truck. I go to print it. There's no frickin' paper. And I'm looking at a line of like 15 people inside the gas station. So I'm like, fuck. Now I got to go inside. So I go inside, and I'm standing next to this old man who looks like he's been up all night. Well, lo and behold, he was. And he turns around. I did not make eye contact with him.
And he's hammered.
No, he turns around and he says to me, I've been up all night fishing. I'm like, okay, I guess I got to interact with this gentleman.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, did you catch anything? And he's like, oh, yeah, I caught catfish, and I was like, oh, 20, 30 pounder? He's like, yeah, off the pier. We're at Jordan Lake. There's no pier. So this was my first, like, okay, what's this guy talking about? I've still got 6 more people before I get my receipt. So I start digging a little deeper.
All the opportunity in the world to call this guy out in his BS.
Well, I'm working on it,
All right.
and I'm getting there.
All right. This is the marathon, folks, not the sprint.
So I say to him, yeah, biggest fish I ever caught in there was 64 pounds, which is true. The Cape Fear River, it's connected to Jordan Lake, and it was a 64-pound flathead. I got pictures to prove it. But
is this going to be the whole hour? God damn. Finish the story.
We got plenty of time, Tom. We're getting there. So he turns to me and says, I've caught one that was 800 pounds.
Was it a Buick?
Well, first of all, let's get into what he said after that. He said, I caught one that was like 800 pounds, and it was the size of your chest and your torso. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, well, Andre the Giant's only 500 pounds. This guy just looked at me and guessed 800 pounds just in my midsection. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm either fat as shit or he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So
he was up all night.
I was like,
it wasn't fishing, it was doing meth.
Yeah, 800 pounds. Impressive. So that, I don't even know where I'm going with that, but he just, I didn't know where to take it after that because I knew he was just completely bullshitting. He probably didn't even catch a 30-pound fish.
So we're going to have to dub that one out because there's not even a punchline to that.
There's no punchline. No, it was just, I told you, it's a story that happened to me this morning.
Bad people just being bad.
No. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about something more real. Something that everybody has to deal with.
What does everybody have to deal with?
How about the pandemic of men that aren't men anymore? What happened to men?
Are you talking about the plethora of man buns in Holly Springs?
I'm not talking specifically about Holly Springs.
Okay.
But here lately, I have found a unique generation of men that their own females counterparts say to me that they don't date.
You sure they're not friends?
Well, I'm sure I would friend zone the hell out of them if I were them. But they say they don't date men anymore of their own generation because they're afraid that they can't be protected by these younger guys. Is this a real thing? I need to know. I need people to comment on this video and fill me in on what happened to men. Men, like guys that
like
dig
calloused,
holes and smell like
hardworking
sawdust.
men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, get up and
God
go
made
to
dirt.
work.
Dirt won't hurt.
That's right.
That's right. No, they do not exist. Oh my God, you drank all that. We're 3 minutes in,
That's
Tommy.
right. I'm not messing around. You invited me to this BYOG party.
Do you
here.
need a second to re-pour?
Yeah.
Bartender!
BYOG, folks. Bring your own fucking glass. Down to Mike's here.
Let me explain that. So as I said in my test video when I started this and set all this up and all my blood and sweat
With all of
is
his
in
ideas.
this fantastic studio, which apparently all of it was Tom's idea according
No, it
to
was
his
not.
son.
Oh, yeah, according to my son.
According to your son,
That's right.
I'm just hanging on a coattail. So
Thank God I didn't have to help set this up.
it was a pain. I'm not lying.
I
It
can't
was.
imagine. This is
I
Fred-
connected all this. I did the IT.
Yeah, you did a great job.
We're here.
We're gonna have to work on the background next week, folks, because looks like Fred Sanford's much whiter cousin here.
What's wrong with the background?
I'm not a big fan of the old clown. Now.
Should we talk about this clown?
We
want to talk about it?
Yeah. Bring it on over here.
So
Thank you, man. I don't, can we have,
since the clown was brought up, this clown.
I don't know if we can bring this on camera.
Uh,
Can we? Can we bring the liquor bottles on camera?
Yeah, you're fine. Just
We don't have to tell
Don't-
them who's sponsoring.
yeah, don't sponsor them for free. Just don't show the label till they start paying us. This clown was in my bedroom over my crib.
Now
Over,
this is a story we need on camera.
over my brother's crib.
Oh my goodness! Thank you.
Over my other brother's crib.
Really?
Over my sister's crib. This clown's been in our bedrooms the entire time we were kids.
That explains a lot.
At like 10 o'clock at night, you'd wake up and see this face smiling and just staring you down in a house that was already 100 years old.
Now this is the story that people want to hear, folks. What person, Colleen, I love you. What person in their right mind puts something like that over a toddler infant crib?
It's so traumatic. I kept
Yeah.
it. I had to keep it.
It is the most revolting clown I've ever seen in my life.
He looks like his other hand's holding Snickers bars. Like
I
he's-
thought we were talking about the one on the T-shirt there.
Oh, we haven't even gotten to that. We haven't even gotten to the T-shirt. But no, everybody can't see the T-shirt, so that's going to have to be explained later. But that's a Down to Mike's shirt that my older brother made for me, and it's got a picture of me with my afro in the '80s, sliding down a tetanus-covered play. This is the playground that makes men.
That's right.
If you're wondering where men came from, they came from a playground like this. That's my little brother in the background.
Back in the days where you did stuff like that because you were not allowed in the house
That's right. That's right.
until the streetlights came on. Then you were murdered.
Well, I mean, you lost one every once in a while.
That's
They were
right.
on the milk carton, and that's
That's right.
where you ended up. But what were we talking about?
We were talking about our phenomenal
clown.
background here.
Yeah, the background. I like it. That's Robbie the Robot. I can't even tell you how old that is. That was a toy that my father had. It's
I think
one
the
of the
people
first animatronics.
The people are starting to get my Fred Sanford reference here.
Yeah.
So where should we start? Should we start where it all began?
We can. Yeah. Yeah, this is a good start to a first episode. Are you talking about when we met?
I would say when the communication and the back and forth banter started where we hazed the general public.
Yes.
Go-
That's correct.
Going out to your local store, folks, and people watching.
People watching has been a hobby of ours for at least a couple of decades, but we didn't start out that way. We did not start out that way. We started out in a restaurant,
That's right.
and
When
you
the
know,
people came to us.
yes. Started out working in a restaurant. Tom was a manager. I was one of the night servers. And I got a story about that. And it starts out like this. I finally started getting some money. And I thought to myself, I'm going to buy my first motorcycle.
Oh God. Here
Do you know where this is going?
Yeah, I know where this is going.
I'm going to buy my first motorcycle. And I always wanted a dirt bike. So I went down to the local Suzuki spot dealership, I guess, and bought it fresh off the line. I mean, never even had gas in it. A DRZ 400. This thing, I almost wrecked it taking it home the first day. I was so excited. I almost wrecked it, but I didn't.
That'll be funny in a moment, folks.
So I ride up to Applebee's. I'm all excited. Out comes Tom from inside the restaurant. It's around lunch. We were kind of changing shifts. So luckily, the parking lot was sort of empty. People had left. And Tom was like, "What? Do you remember what you said?" I don't remember exactly what you said, but you said, "That's a cool bike.
I have no
Can I
idea.
sit on it?"
I'm fairly certain I was intoxicated.
"Can I sit on it?" And I said, "Yeah, you can sit on it." And this, it was a DRZ. It was a dirt bike. It was an enduro. It was tall. Tom and I are around 6'2". We were both on our tippy toes on this bike. And he sits on it. And he says, "Oh, cool. How do you start it?" I'm like, "All right. Just turn that key. Have you ever been on a bike before?" "No. I'm not going to go anywhere. Just fire it up."
Let's pause right there. for a
You-
moment.
Sorry.
That's
Go
when
ahead.
a good friend would have been like, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't start this thing."
So we started it. I am a good friend, I promise, but maybe didn't think as much back then. But so we started it, and it's idling. Tom's sitting on it. He says, "How do you put it in gear?" He says, "How do you put it in gear?" I said, "Well, you just push down on that lever, squeeze in the clutch, and let out the clutch slow." Ladies and gentlemen, Tom doesn't understand what slow means.
Tom doesn't recall any of the event at all.
Tom released the clutch immediately on a 400cc bike, and this son went straight up in the air. Tom came off, bike came down, his hand pulled the throttle completely, bike did a full cartwheel, ripping the entire rear fender out. The bike was airborne. It would have landed on a car that had just left 5 minutes ago. So the bike crashes, and then Tom does this full head first. If you've ever seen Spaceballs, when Rick Moranis flies into the front of the ship when they stop it from ludicrous speed, that's what Tom did, straight into the asphalt. So me, having just bought the bike,
Hey,
was
Mike,
like,
just pause for there for a second. Did I have a helmet on?
not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
So he face planted face first. Needless to say, he was sleeping. And I said, "Oh my God, my bike. Oh my God, Tom." I run over. And, he was coherent. He was talking. He had road rash on his chin. I don't know what else you had. I mean, your head was, he took a hit straight to the dome to asphalt. And for the next 4 or 5 days, Tom was the manager of this restaurant.
I don't recall any of this.
We would find him in the corner looking off into nowhere. Just like, you'd walk up and say, "Tom, table 4 needs you." And he was like, "I like clouds." Just random words were coming out for a couple of days.
Do you remember? I do remember this part of it. I remember being back at my house. I was living with my folks at the time. We were still young. I remember walking. This is where we will make full circle back to where men were men. I remember getting home and being bloody and knocking on my dad's bedroom doors like, "Pop, I need to go to the hospital." My old man, in true Italian form, opens the door and nothing but his mighty tighty whities. Looks at me up and down as you would a foe, sees me bleeding, completely wrecked from head to toe, and goes, "Don't bleed on my carpet. Get out of my house." To which I had to walk back outside and have Mike, I think it was Mike, take me to the hospital.
Yeah, we went in and got you checked out. So that's, that's what friends do.
After they set you up for complete failure.
So, to end that story, Tom did completely have my bike fixed and bought me a jacket that I still have to this day. So
I don't think they even had the parts in
No.
the state.
no, they came from
Yeah, we
California
were
or something.
ordering
It was when
parts
the DR, I
across
mean,
the country.
that the DRZ, just to talk about that for a second, is a bike it's like a Jeep Wrangler. That thing was so perfect. It just never changed. A DRZ today looks just like the one I bought then.
Yeah.
And it was a good bike. I drove it for a while after that.
The
After
only
you completely
problem
got it fixed.
with that bike.
Too
was-
much torque for you?
Well, besides that, this Yahoo, what kind of exhaust did you put on that thing?
Oh my God, it was so loud.
You
I
could
couldn't even handle it.
You
I
could
couldn't
hear
handle
it.
it.
If we were at the house, you could hear that thing 1.5 miles out coming down the road. Do you remember what it was?
It was just a racing exhaust. It was wide open.
Jeez Louise, I'll never forget that.
It gave me such a headache.
Yeah.
And I threw the stock one away, so I couldn't even change it.
Yeah.
I was young, and I was like, well, this is what I got. I'm keeping it. And I came home at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, I remember that.
But, you know, I also wanted to throw in this first episode on, hold on, let me pull up the notes because it had something to do with, what kind of job do you see yourself wanting to do? I mean, are you doing right now what you always wanted to do?
So, yeah, absolutely. I would say as a child, I'm doing now what my dream was. Now, you know, as a child, you don't, yeah,
So
absolutely.
you wanted to go into that?
Yeah. My family will tell you it. You know, at just above toddler age, I would talk about, you know, doing what I do now, and I said it to my parents at a much younger age. Now, obviously, you know, I as an adult, you look back at it like this is not at all what I planned on this being. However, it's been a good ride, you know, 20 years, almost 20 years doing the same thing. So it's been fun.
Well, it did come at what I would say later.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still, you started it a bit late, even though it's been almost 20 years
Yeah.
now. But I still don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what makes me happy as far as being lucrative.
Mhm.
I have no clue. And I try to think about it every day. I can't figure it out.
What
I don't even know what I was like. I just don't know.
Huh.
What would make me happy and make money? Like, I know what makes me happy. I'd like to grab a hammock and go in the woods and not be bothered
That's right. Yeah,
forever.
I don't think that's too.
It's not lucrative.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I think if that was the case, we would find a bunch of missing links out in the woods instead of here at Down the Mics.
Yeah. And I enjoy this, you know. But, you know, I mean, what are the chances of actually making money with what we're doing right now?
Sitting here talking junk to one another.
Like that's winning the lottery.
Yeah.
It would be nice.
That's interesting. So you think about it, and you can't come up with a long-term.
I can't come up with anything.
Plan.
I don't know because like if we talk about working on cars, yeah, I like it. And it's the same with like carpentry. I love carpentry, but I don't like doing it for other people.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know, I just don't like doing it for other people. I don't like, especially with carpentry. I mean, when I was doing carpentry, you'd do a house and you'd put up the trim and you'd make it perfect. And especially in some of these higher end homes, you don't want to leave it and just walk away after doing something like that. So it's, plus it's, you know, that's grueling work. It's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
But at the same time, with AI, a lot of these people out there that have these computer jobs,
About to be replaced.
they're about to be replaced.
Yeah.
Like my neighbors who never come out of their house.
Yeah.
They're going to be unemployed
Son, if
within
you're
the
watching,
next 10 years.
go figure out how to weld.
Yeah. Well, everybody should be at least know a trade.
That's right.
I'm happy. I am. If you look into Webster's dictionary, I am the definition of jack of all trades.
You are.
Master of none.
I'll give you credit. Where I almost never, folks, if you don't know me, I almost never like to compliment Mike, but he can do just about everything. I'm fairly certain he could weld a penis on a snowman.
Yeah. Yeah, with the right. Yeah, I think I could. I could do it with a soldering iron if we're doing it to your scale.
Doesn't take much, right? Ladies, don't believe the hype.
Oh, man.
That is penis envy right there.
Yes. Yes. That's as far as I'm going to take that
Yeah,
conversation.
and we'll end that one and move on. What's next on the old agenda there, Mike? You got a list of topics there?
I got to be honest. I had a ton the whole day. And then I told you, you get in front of this microphone, you got the camera
You draw
on
a
you,
blank.
and you draw complete blanks.
I'll go to the next topic. Let me ask you a question.
Is it a topic?
A
Or
topic.
a
Next
topic?
We
Where
won't
did
dwell
our
on that.
bartender go?
Yeah.
That's all right. I don't need any more. Not right now. What's the next topic? Did you lose it?
Assholes and
Did you-
where you encounter them. Yeah. So
Hold on. I'll speak your language. Please continue.
How about this? You go out into public. Let's say your local. I don't. Are we allowed to say names of places, or is this going to cause us an issue? Since you've already said 3 thus far, because I've been counting.
Yeah, I did say 3. I think it's for our own good. We don't go too
We don't go there.
specific on
So let's
anything.
say you go out to your local
But you can talk about the town.
store of mass quantity people. How about that?
Like
And-
a Walmart? You can say that.
Okay.
You can say Walmart.
And
That's general.
What do you think about the way that people go into public these days? You know?
Oh, you mean like wardrobe?
Yeah, just in general, like their attitude, the way they present themselves, their wardrobe. What do you think about that? We hear about this all the time, folks going into public. I'm here to tell you, I grew up in a generation where my parents would not let me out of the house if I was not presentable. And I think it's gone completely out the window. That philosophy is a loss on this new generation.
I guess you're right. I haven't been told to tuck my shirt in since I left the house.
That's right. How about put on pants? There's a novel idea. Put on a pair of pants.
A pair of pants would be nice. I think clothes that fit should be a requirement.
Mhm.
You know, especially in some of the places aforementioned.
Mhm.
Clothes that fit would be nice. I don't want to see the under half of your stomach when I'm trying to pick up some food for later.
That's right.
You know, I agree with you. I think the
Produce
The
without
lack-
a fupa, ladies. That's what we're looking for. That one's gonna get some comments.
the lack of gives zero fucks
Yeah.
is real.
Yeah.
And yeah, most people just don't care anymore. I don't like seeing it in sports.
Yeah,
I think you
that's
should
fair.
still be suit and tie when you go to the game, not dressing however you feel like it. And
You mean as an athlete?
as an athlete?
Yeah, fair.
Yes.
Fair.
When I played ball in school,
Yeah.
you had to come in a shirt and tie.
Mhm.
That's how you came to the game.
Yep.
I think there should be more of that. I think there should definitely be more discipline all around.
Yeah.
But then again, you're talking about men building men, and then a concept I really don't want to dive too deep into. But you know,
Yeah, don't get us canceled on
you're
the
not
first
allowed
episode.
to discipline. You know, that's what it comes down to. Honestly, is
Lack of discipline.
what is it? The timeout era.
Well, I have noticed that since COVID,
What is a timeout, anyways? Have you ever heard of a timeout? Did you get a timeout while your dad was smacking you across the
I've
face?
never had a timeout in my life. I think timeout consisted of when I got knocked out.
yes. I was about to say. I think timeout was the time you spent sleeping
That's right.
between getting smacked for
That's-
doing something dumb.
That's what my old man used to say in between ass whoopings. Hold on, I need a timeout because he smoked Marlboros at the time.
Yes.
Oh, but getting back to that, I would say post COVID, it's just this lack of caring in general. You know, it's applied to employment, how people present themselves. How do you think we get back to a society that cares about their appearance and the way they present themselves, the way they work, their work ethics, their morals? How do we get back to a society that truly cares about the things our folks instilled in us when we were growing up?
I think it comes back to discipline.
Mike's gonna beat everybody's ass back in the back in the 1960s.
Well, I don't just mean like corporal punishment
Mhm.
or beating somebody. I think it's discipline and where do you draw the line these days? Like when you say a school's required to wear this, and then we're getting into people not wanting to be told what to do. That's the biggest problem is we've gotten this. We've gotten away from etiquette.
Sure.
And you're allowed to do whatever you want, because if you say something, you're inhibiting somebody from.
Sure. So what's interesting, what I find interesting is in a society of what seemingly is people that no longer care, they also care about everything, right? Am I wrong? Because years ago, for example, I had a friend recently, well, it hasn't been that recent, that was filling up his gas tank at the local, gas station, right? And a lady came up to him, believe it or not. I think he had his child in the car. It's North Carolina, folks, and North Carolina summer can be anywhere between 95 and the surface of the sun at any given time, right?
True.
So he had his kid in the car, so he did not turn the car off, or the truck, so the air conditioning could run. This lady came up to him and started cussing him out because he was wasting fuel while at the gas station, wasting resources. Now, look, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but at what point did we reach a level of society where you could walk up to a stranger and say whatever you want that has nothing on the planet to do with you, that 25, 30 years ago would absolutely have cost you a punch in the face?
Oh, I agree. I think that's also a part of being free. We should be allowed to backhand somebody.
I don't agree with that, folks.
Well, I mean, in public, if you want to accost me and tell me I'm not doing what I should be doing with my son.
Yeah, see, I like a different approach, right? Because a backhand only lasts but a minute. But insulting somebody to their core, now that's something they dwell upon for months at hand, right?
Well, see, that's where we differ. You may have the articulate gift of speech. I have the gift of punch.
That's right.
And I don't mean women. I'm not gonna hit a woman.
I know you wouldn't.
But no guy's gonna come up to me and you're not gonna insult me in public for no reason. Like, I didn't give you a reason.
You mean not shutting off your ignition in public is not a reason?
He's getting a timeout. That's all there is to it.
The old sleepy
you're
timeout.
You're getting a timeout. You're getting a 1980s timeout. And yeah, I said yesterday in my test I was going to keep this light.
Well, then.
So thanks for bringing this down a dark hole, Tom.
You're
not supposed to bring this down dark holes with. Is it a good topic to start out with?
Well,
we've had 2 full glasses of liquor before we started, just to take the nerves off, and then you went completely serious.
Well, I'm trying to keep it real life, what people can relate to, right? What people are.
Are we there yet?
With.
This is episode 1. Episode 1. We're not even good at this yet.
I don't want to watch me talk about random stuff that doesn't apply to my personal life, right?
Well, I mean, we can't keep talking about ourselves because, of
right.
course, nobody's going to get any of those references.
It's not going to be humorous.
No, I mean, unless it's a relatable story about stuff that everybody used to do back then.
Right.
And we've got plenty of those.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know where to take it, honestly. I don't know where we should where do you think we should take this podcast to keep it rolling for maybe let's say 45-minute 1 hour episodes to kick off.
Yeah, man, current events, because that current events are things that don't ever go away, right?
Tom, I don't pay attention to current events. This is an issue for one of us.
I'm not talking about current events like walking out and finding what your local politician is doing. I'm talking about walking out into public and the current event in your personal life, right?
I got you.
We're two real people, right?
Well, let's talk about a current event that just happened to you.
Okay.
Did you not just take your dog to the groomers?
I did.
Let's hear about that.
Taking my dog to the groomers? I don't recall. I mean, I take my
You
dog
told
to the groomers
me
all the time.
you were going to take your dog to the groomer,
Okay.
and he had shit on his back.
So, listen.
And you didn't clean it off. You just took him to the groomer.
Here's the backstory, folks. Mike is leaving out all of the vital important
That's because I'm
parts
letting you tell the story.
that
I'm
makes
just
me not sound like what was on my dog's back. So this is what was transpiring, folks. We were trying to get out of town. We had a vacation.
Him and Alec, not
Yeah.
when he says we, he's not talking about me.
Myself and my son, we'll have to edit out his name because I don't want anybody reaching out to my child. So this is the situation. We were headed out of town. We had a vacation planned. It wasn't taking the dog to the groomers. The groomer happens to be a boarding place as well. And I had paid for both, the grooming and the boarding, while we were going to be out of town. So this is the situation. My son is young. His responsibility was to wake up, breathe, and take the dog out. That was the full responsibility while I was packing the cooler, making food.
Why don't you
food
put the
prepping.
weight of the world on him?
Yeah, it's difficult to be 12 these days, folks. So I was doing all this thing, packing the cooler. I had a bunch of food that I was making because we were hosting an event out of town. You'll probably find out in later episodes. I do like to cook. Maybe we'll bring something in here and do a taste test. That'd be fun one day.
Ooh.
A test and maybe we can bring in a bunch of random strangers. I'm sorry, I got ADD, folks.
No, that's
Right,
fine. That's how this works.
We'll do that,
We
right?
dive into different things
Yeah.
to talk about.
So that'll be a topic here to
so
come.
keep
Let me
rolling.
finish my story. So I'm doing all of these things. I'm multitasking. I'm a single dad, right? So I'm multitasking, trying to do all these things, get the car ready. We are late. If you know me and you know me at all, I am not a late guy, right? I'm 15 minutes early, or I'm on time everywhere I go, right? So we're running late. We're supposed to be on the road 15, 20 minutes ago. My son is getting the dog in, so we're getting ready to load in the vehicle. My microphone went off. Are you
You
there?
good? Yeah.
Equipment failure. Mike
Okay,
doesn't know
sorry.
what's on.
I'm pressing buttons. My bad.
So my
Continue.
story's not that good. So he asked for the story, but he's going to cut my mic off in the middle of it. So here we go. So I look down.
Go ahead. And I look.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry.
So
Sorry,
I
go
looked
ahead.
down, and what should I find? The dog went to the bathroom, and because my son wasn't paying attention to him, he may have got some on his backside or ran his backside across the grass. So he has a little bit of the mess on him. So I'm in a pinnacle situation, folks, and I have to make a critical incident situation decision here, right? So it's either go inside, bathe the dog completely, brush him out because you can't just bathe
While
him out.
already in a rush.
While already in a rush, already late, and people expecting me, or do what a guy should do. I think to myself, well, Tom, I've already paid for this grooming, and I've already paid for the boarding, right? So the whole time there, I picked the dog up. I switched vehicles because I have to take the older vehicle now, not the newer vehicle, because I don't want dog crap all in my car. And I say to my son, hey, look, pay no attention to the crap. We're going to have to drop this dog off because they see crap on the back of this dog. They're probably not going to take him, right?
Just pretend it's not there.
So the story keeps getting better, right? So I drop the dog off. They accept the dog. Thank the good Lord. We hit the bricks. I don't wait because I'm thinking if they call me and I'm an hour down the road, I'm going to say, sorry, folks, I'm an hour down the road. Can't pick them up, right? So this is the conundrum, right? I'm gone. I come back
To a clean dog, right?
2 days later, and the crap is still on the dog.
Now, hold on a second, because I don't remember this part of the story. It was 2 days.
2 days. So it was that day, a night, and the next day.
So this was a boarding plus a grooming.
Correct, that I had paid for both.
And you
right?
dropped him off with shit on his back.
Yeah. He
And
may
he
have.
came back to you 2 days later
with
with
dried shit
with dried shit on his back,
on his back.
and they said
Or
they
his
groomed him.
backside. Yeah, they said they groomed him, and they stuck to the story, right? So I'm getting irritated because, right,
So how do you tell them?
so this is the problem, right? So I I don't believe in being a disingenuous person. However, I had to admit to some level of something being on the dog and me identifying the fact that there was something on the dog in advance, so I can reference that point and say the dog looked like this prior, now the dog looked like this afterward. So instead of, fully sounding and committing to being a scumbag, I I called it mud. I was like, there was mud on my dog's butt when I dropped him off, and it's still there. I want you to know they wouldn't take my word for it. They went back and looked at the video footage, and finally we were like, "You're right. We never washed your dog."
My God.
These are the problems of suburban people, folks.
Yes,
Real life problems. We could probably edit that whole story completely out.
we could.
That was a terrible story. I wouldn't want to listen to that.
You wouldn't want to listen to
That was a terrible
dropping a
story.
dog off with shit on his back.
No. I mean,
You told it with such confidence.
well, it's because it's a story and it happened, and you asked me to tell you, so I have to come forth with a story. But I find no humor value in that. It's more or less
No humor value in the fact that you had shit on your dog and just said, I'm going to take him to the groomer anyways.
I had no choice. I was in a pinnacle situation, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying you don't find any humor in the fact that you left poop on your dog and was like,
I mean, since you say it like that, like, Tom, you are what you left on your dog, because you brought this dog to the groomer knowing that he was filthy.
knowing that he had poop. But in the same fashion, leaving that poop made you find out that they were taking money from you.
The interesting part is the dog always comes back smelling like something. So
they're just spraying perfume over poop.
I think that's what transpired. This whole time I'm thinking, hey, look, this dog. I want to ask them where they get this soap.
Because they
from.
probably see him because your dog was young at the time,
Right.
like puppy young.
Well, he has.
So
to
they
go.
already look good.
Right. He has to go on a regular basis, because if he doesn't, he gets mats. I have a teddy bear dog my son asked for. So it's a mix with Bichon Frise and Shih Tzu. So the hair itself, you have to keep it properly groomed or they'll mat. So don't buy this dog.
Bichon Frise.
That's right. It's a super fancy dog, well outside the realm of my financial capabilities. However, I got this dog. My son always wanted a dog. Mike knows. My son asked me a dog from the time that he was born till the time he was 12. I finally gave him a 12, thinking, hey, he's at an age where he can help.
You
me
got
take
a
care of
little
this.
baby foo-foo dog.
I
And
did.
you're wondering where men are going.
That doesn't take. Look, I'm so comfortable in my masculinity. So let me back the story up here, folks. Because if you're somebody that doesn't know Mike has to compensate for his lack of masculinity with 2 horses that he allows to live in his house.
They're not horses.
They're two horses. When they go to the bathroom at my house, I have to use a backhoe to pick up the fecal matter in my backyard. Let me ask you a question.
That's got some truth to it. But I know that because I pick him up with 2 bags. Not 1 bag, 2 bags. But not at your house, no. Because I never see him poop there.
That's a lie. That's a complete lie.
It's not a lie that I don't
Look,
see them
I'm
poop.
gonna tell you,
It's not a lie that I don't see
Mike's
them poop.
girlfriend, the last time he was ill, let me rebuttal this. Came up to me and said, the dog pooped over there. Mike saw it. He's going to pick it up tomorrow when he comes back for his car.
She said that?
Yeah.
She never told me she said that.
That doesn't mean it didn't
And
happen.
if she never told me, I didn't know there was a poop. And if I didn't know there was a poop, I can't come back and pick it up. I'm not going to come back to your house and pick it up anyway. So you got to get me while I'm there. That's it. You know that.
This is the level of friendship we're at, folks. You notice he never admitted to the fact of saying it.
To seeing it? I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
All right,
You
moving right
can
along.
see it.
This is a completely terrible topic. Again,
Sorry.
we're going to get off the
No,
dog crap
no. The
topic.
fact of the matter is this will improve as we understand it. This is such new territory. This and it's something I heard on a different podcast today.
Okay.
I heard this today. Somebody who's been doing it for 5-6 years, and they're very well off now.
They're
They got
successful.
one of the #1 podcasts. Period.
Mhm.
He said, go back and look at my first 15. He said they sucked.
Yeah.
He said they're ridiculous.
What
They're
did-
horrible.
So what did he do to get them better?
You just get used to it. You figure it out. Because right now we're kind of not talking like we normally do
Right.
because of this. We're not comfortable.
We need
You
a
gotta-
bartender on the other side of this. That's the problem.
Well, yeah. The
Right
problem
down
is
to my
I'm
speed.
empty.
We
I
both
can't.
have two
I
empty
can't
drinks.
turn the video
we
off.
have no bartender to go back and forth with. See, where we are successful, and maybe we need to change the podcast into this. Where we are successful is when we have a third party that is not accustomed to our banter, and we can rope them into our conversation and make them feel uncomfortable.
That's very true.
You know, when we get somebody else, a second or a third person involved in our conversation, this is where we start to develop crowds, because we talk about stuff that most people won't say out loud, especially in a public situation. Mike has no filter, folks. So it does, after one or two drinks, it's all coming out. And what I think what's more amazing to the third party is not that you say it, it's that it has no effect on me whatsoever. Because 30 years of hearing the same thing, you know, it's tough.
True. I think you have a point. I think most of what we do does have a third party.
Yeah.
And that'll come with having the ability to interview, maybe possibly getting somebody that could edit. But right now, as I said before, on this zero budget, this is it. This camera angle, this is the extent of my skill. So, you know, we're going to watch this when it's over, and we're going to make sure it's good to put out on the internet. And then, you know, there's not much I can do editing wise because I'm fucking old. I don't understand the computer. I don't know what I'm doing. So, you know, but I think there's a level of comfortable we got to get doing this.
Right.
And this is our third party, but it's
Right
just, you got to get used to that. And I think what'll help us is when we do receive comments and when we do start, I would like to eventually get to the point where it's a live stream, where we're just streaming it and people can comment on it while we're sitting here talking.
That would be awful.
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 Awful. We would have topics coming in. We would have things to talk about. Because right now, like I said, all day today, I had shit. I was like, ooh, I'm going to talk about this. Ooh, I'm going to talk about that.
You didn't think.
Oh, yeah. No, I was going to write. I only wrote down the gas station story.
Jesus.
I was working.
And that was a bomb. That gas station story. I kept waiting for the bigger fish thing I've seen. Everybody's seen the big fish thing.
Well, I think it was just the fact that he looked at me and said it was an 800-pound catfish, and then said it was the size of my chest. I was like, what?
Well, it does make sense if it was a 20-foot catfish at the size of your chest. Maybe it could be an
20, 30-foot catfish, yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess you could skew the story to make it fucking work.
Catfishosaurus.
No. Yes.
It's fucking great. He rode the thing to the gas station.
Yes. And, hey, buddy. And I don't, you know. But there was other things that I think, you know, we can come up with. I also thought about making a topic wheel.
Now, that would be interactive and fun,
Spin the wheel. That's the topic we're talking about. And current events that you're talking about,
See, this is what
I don't know how much I want to get into that.
What we need to do is we should just randomly call people that know us and let them lead us into a conversation. Because there's so many people, especially in this town, that know us both.
We can do that on this.
And they'll do
This
trigger
makes
words.
sense. Yeah.
You know, like if we were to call Ty. And
Well, Ty will be a guest on this. And guests will come because I even talked to Noah on Facebook.
I saw that.
And getting Noah in here would be great. He actually talks really well. And like, I don't know if you saw the end of his last fight, but he spoke
Intelligently.
like
That's the genetic part that did not come from Ty.
it did not come from Ty. I don't know where that came from, but yeah,
I bet getting punched in the head didn't help it.
no. But to have a contender here in the family,
yeah,
that's worth talking to.
Yeah.
You know, especially since he was such a cute little fat baby. You know, And to turn into one of the best fighters in North Carolina is
It's a big deal.
it is a big deal. I'm proud of him.
Yeah. No, if you're watching,
Not
we're proud
Ty,
of you.
Noah. Oh yeah, we're gonna have you on, and he is watching. He subscribed yesterday.
I don't even know how to freaking subscribe. I tried to
Oh
click the
my
thing,
God,
and it's asking me for all this information. I'm like, you know what? It's not that I don't
You
know how.
old
I just have
bastard.
no patience whatsoever. Once it asked me for my email and I clicked it and it asked for something else, I was like, fuck this. I'm done. Once I go to screen 2, folks, my patience is over with.
come on.
Yeah.
We need as many as we can get, and you're not a subscriber.
All right, I'll
How do we
subscribe.
even say that?
I'll subscribe. That way I can forward it on because we already know that
Man, oh
if,
man.
if I forward it, we'll get a few extra people.
And to be honest, I've seen other podcasts today because I've been listening to a lot for the last 6 months because it's just more. It's better to listen to this going down the road than music. I don't know why, but just whoever it is talking, having a conversation, and yes, some of them are really interesting conversations. I like listening to conversations with
Right.
vets, but even the ones the podcasts out there that are just silly and talking like we're talking about whatever, whenever. I find that more interesting than music these days.
You know what the problem is here? I'm going to tell you what it is. So
I didn't know we had a
No,
problem.
listen, hear me out because as soon as I say
No,
this,
please continue.
you're going to agree with it. The problem is we have 2 guys talking about absolutely nothing, right?
True.
The problem is people watch stuff like this and they think there's actual life-changing information that they should interject based off of what they say from 2 random guys that may show up on the internet, right?
Are you saying
So
we're gonna have haters already?
no, what I'm saying is like there will be somebody that watches this and there'll be some
And get
tomfoolery.
something profound out of
Yeah,
it?
yeah. This is gonna be life-changing or
Well, I hope for the better.
either they're going to find it profound or they're going to find it so awful that we get haters right off the bat.
What do you got over there? You should have enough cord to reach that. I
Reach
don't
what?
think my dogs will get it. There's liquor on the counter. Liquor on the counter.
Oh, can't get it on camera.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't.
You
do that.
can step out of the frame. It'll be all right.
You're not going to survive without me. I don't have enough cord.
It'll be all right. Yes, you do. You got 20 feet.
Keep talking. Otherwise, you might as well leave.
No, go on.
I need your
Just make
glass.
it quick. Go on. I got you.
Give me your glass.
I'm feeding you. Go. You got it. See? Look at that. You're all scared like you're going to blow up. Come on, bring it back. Stop staring at it.
trying to cover the label. Bring me your glass.
You don't have to cover the label. There you go. This is an $80 camera. It can't even see us. But
You might as well just put the rest
hold
of
on.
it
Let me
And
take a look and see what we're at here.
And that's how you get them started, folks.
Let's see where we're at. I don't even. We're at 48 minutes.
Do we have a second ice cube? Is there?
There's vodka right there.
No, I want ice. All right, give me just a minute.
We're going to continue this for a little bit longer since it's episode 1 and we're trying to get our feet under us. And this is learning how to be comfortable in this situation and talking. And yes, I can't express enough how I'd love to get a third party in here. The problem is with a third party is I have to edit. I don't know how
Why?
to do that.
What do you mean you have to edit? Why?
I have to edit because what are we going to stick them right here?
Yeah.
Are we just going to put somebody between us?
Why not?
Oh my God.
The chaos sandwich. That would be freaking awesome. Or even have them call in. You could just have somebody call in randomly on a phone.
Well, my brother knows how to put somebody that's like FaceTiming on the screen.
Which brother?
Johnny. I don't know how to do that. But I guess we can figure it out.
I think it's vitally important because our comedic events usually transpire.
You don't think
when
what we're
there's
doing
something.
today is entertaining?
Well, maybe it's 30 years of listening to your nonsense. That it's just
Well,
like,
you got to remember that. We've been listening to each other do this
usually I find
for
something.
way too long.
I find something funny when somebody else looks at me and tells me it was funny. Because otherwise, I'm just like, I was just making fun of mine.
I think that's the part that you're not used to not
Yeah.
seeing is Like if somebody's
the
laughing
feedback.
at what we're
Yeah.
doing, we don't know it.
Yeah.
Like earlier, it was kind of nice
Yeah.
because she was here
That's right.
in the background
Laughing. And I don't have a button I can push that makes laughs happen.
I do. I do.
Oh, do we?
Yes. Hold on a second.
You're dropping. That almost sounded scary.
Huh?
That sounded scary, like you had just invaded an elementary school with that laughter.
It's yeah. Well, now I don't want to press the button anymore.
That's right.
Thanks for making it creepy.
All right, let's keep moving. Let's bring it on to the next topic. That Mike doesn't. He is not properly prepared. I want you guys.
There
to know.
is no preparing. Let's talk about preparing for a second.
Okay.
Where did you help with this?
I
Where
did-
is there Tom Fluence?
It was my idea. So saith a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we'll roll with that. I'm gonna let it be because honestly, I'm gonna tell you this, and this is the
By the
truth.
time we're 80, it will have been
Listen,
my idea.
listen. This is the truth. He might be right.
I don't recall any of it. I don't recall being at the restaurant. I don't recall the
That's why I'm
conversation.
not arguing it. He might be right.
Yeah.
You might have said it
Mhm.
out of the blue, and then I was like,
I'm going to do it.
yes, I want to do that.
Yeah.
That
Well, at that time, I was watching a lot of podcasts as well.
well, it's
And because I find them freaking hilarious. Are
Well,
we allowed to tell about our favorite podcast?
to like talk about
Yeah,
it.
he-
You want to promote somebody else's podcast?
Yeah, why
of
not?
ours?
They're,
Yeah,
they're
go
already
ahead.
famous.
Yeah, why not?
So if you haven't watched this, my two of my favorite comedians,
Uh-huh.
hands down, is Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. Right? If you haven't-
Kreischer?
is that how you say it?
Kreischer.
Kreischer.
Bert
I thought it
Kreischer.
was Kreischer. Is there not an N in there?
No, he's not Jewish.
We're gonna look it up. He's the machine, folks. If you haven't seen him, if you haven't
Bert
seen him,
Kreischer. And yes, the very talented gentleman.
so usually what happens here historically, folks, if we have a debate about something, we do it for a slap. We're not going to do that here on the show. But if whoever's wrong usually
Not yet.
gets slapped. Now I will tell you, there are two types of friends. When I'm right, of course I never slap. I never slap Mike. However, you're absolutely right. I'm going to give you credit where credit is due. There is no N. There is no N in his name whatsoever. And I've been watching this show for years. But anyhow, they're
It's your
freaking-
favorite, though.
together they're hilarious by themselves, but together they're super hilarious, right? And you know what's funny? And going back to me finding humor in other people's laughter, they have an episode on one of their podcasts where it is the most ridiculous topic on the planet. So maybe you are right about this, not talking about anything thing. They're sitting there talking about stuff, right? And Bert has this giant. Have you seen this?
Oh, no.
He has this giant water bottle, this metal water bottle, right? And he's there drinking it. And the whole time he's drinking it, everybody's thinking, well, good for him. I think Tom even says it in the episode. Good for him for drinking, being the most hydrated, healthy guy, right? Well, then Bert shares with the show, and of course Tom, that it's like a freaking 40-ounce thing of Kool-Aid, right? And they freaking lose it. If you haven't seen this, you've got to see it. Because they lose it. They lose full functionality. They can't speak. They're dying laughing. Tears because Bert is drinking, I can only assume in the morning, a 40-ounce freaking thing of
A
Kool-Aid.
tub of
It
Kool-Aid.
is hilarious. So look, if we get famous or Tom and Bert see this, send us some tickets to it. We'll see your
Oh
show.
my God! Tom, I'm telling you right now, if 5 years from now, we can put some people on that level in front of us.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we'll be able to bring him in. Of course, we're going to.
To my basement?
Yeah, why not? It won't be a basement. It'll still be down to Mike's, but it's not going to be a basement anymore.
No. Well, are we gonna pull it out of the ground?
We'll have to move.
It's always gonna be a basement.
We'll have to move something that looks like this into a studio. At some
Oh
point if you get
well,
famous.
I would like
That's
to.
usually how it works.
I would like to change this up a little, but there's not much you can do when you can't edit picture. Because I want a close up of me. I want to close. Well, I'll tell you right now.
Nobody
This
wants
is
to close up.
this is why I want a close up of me. I have a voice for video. Okay.
You have a voice for radio, Jeff.
I have a voice for video.
Or face for radio.
I have a no. I don't have a face for radio.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you talking about?
I mean, nobody wants to see you.
I'm chiseled out of stone.
Yeah, your brain is out of stone as well.
But I'm just saying that I don't have the greatest voice.
Yeah.
So people listening to me in a car, I'm sorry. but you know, like
they probably completely. The good news is, if they were in a vehicle when they heard this, they completely wrecked on the side of the road when you told your fish story. Because there was no fucking punchline. It wasn't funny. It was just ridiculousness.
well, maybe if that guy had some shit on his back, it would have been a better story.
Yeah, hey, let's revert back to let's take this story and shine the light in another direction. Talking about Mike and his face of chiseled stone here. So tell us what your tattoo is on your back.
That's not relevant at all.
Let's talk about it. Right?
Episode 1.
You threw me.
You want to jump into the?
You threw me under the bus.
How
with
did
a
I throw you
backslip.
under the bus that bad? You know. I want to say this. I had a guy at work, little young kid, probably, late 20s or something like that. He made a joke about back tattoos to like the group, like, oh, he's probably got his name on his back.
And there we have it, folks. You just sold yourself down the river.
I will, because it's not like, I'm not ashamed of it. And luckily I had a son with the same name, so
It worked out for you.
it's his name now. But when I was younger, I had a buddy named Elvis. His real name was Justin, but this mug looked just like Elvis. Maybe we'll get him on this at some point.
Where is he?
He's still in Raleigh.
Really?
Yeah, but let me explain this tattoo. So, I didn't really want one or didn't have anything in mind. I was 20, I think maybe 20, 21 years old. I don't know. And I was like, yeah, I'll go get a tattoo. I didn't know what to get. So I said to myself, what's never going to change?
I have an epiphany.
What's never going to change?
I'm gonna put
My name's never going to change.
I'm
So
gonna-
I put that across my shoulders.
I'm gonna
And I
put-
also thought like a bit. I'm not done talking, Don. Hold on a second. You told me to explain this. I'm
All right,
explaining
sorry, I
it.
apologize.
I always liked seeing the name on baseball players on the jersey. And
Okay, I've not heard this
In-
before.
in looking back, I should have done my last name. That would have been so much cooler.
Yeah.
But no, from shoulder to shoulder, I have Michael. And that's how it came about. I wanted something that wasn't going to change.
You know what the best part about that story is?
How I've gotten made fun of for the last 25
Well,
years.
not just that, but there's only two people on the planet that call you Michael. Your mom and your dad.
No, they
Everybody
don't
calls you
even. They don't
Mike.
even do it. Everybody calls me Mike. You don't put Mike on your. That's really bad.
What? You don't put your name on your back at all?
True, and I wish somebody would have told me that then.
And yeah.
But I'm thinking about changing it.
I mean, the only
Hey, if we're just going full open here, if we're just letting it all fly on the internet,
Uh-huh.
I was thinking about putting a ST at the top.
Saint Michael.
Saint Michael.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because I was named after him anyways.
Right.
So I can move it, maybe put some wings back there. I don't know. I'm just saying.
We can't do that.
Why?
Because I literally have Saint Michael tattooed on my back.
Do you really?
The angel,
All
not
right.
the name.
It'd be weird.
Yeah, it would be weird.
Well, that's out.
Yeah. Copies me, folks, just like this podcast, just so you know.
Yes.
It's one of those circle
Yeah,
back
that's why I
humor
invited you to it. Yeah.
Mm.
But I honestly didn't know what to call it. And my basement has been called Down to Mike's since I bought the
Yeah.
house in 04.
Yeah.
So, and I already had the sign.
Are we 2 decades? We're over 2 decades at Down to Mike's.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dude, the parties we used to have down here. I remember the first party we had where we had so many people here. I passed out. It's on one of those camcorder
It's on
videos.
Laserfish.
It might be. It's like a camcorder video. But I just remember I woke up at like 3 a.m.
Mhm.
and still heard music. And I came down here and there was 2 people I don't know dancing dancing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Who are you?
who are you? What are you doing here? And they're like, oh, we heard about this party. We're at the local bar. I'm like, what the That's how I knew it was a big party, and I was like, wow. I was kind of impressed with myself,
Yeah.
but then I was like, fuck out of my house.
That's right. You know where those
I
all
turned
started,
off the
right?
music. At our first house,
That's
yeah.
right. Going back to OG days, man.
I actually talked about that today when I was getting a haircut. They asked me about it. I said, I'm starting a podcast with my buddy. I said we've been friends for frickin' ever.
Those were some big parties.
And I said we used to have parties with 8 kegs,
Yeah.
live bands. I mean, just ridiculous.
We had to rent porta potties because the toilets couldn't flush fast enough.
Yeah, we had porta johns at a couple.
Yeah.
And oh my god,
Those were fun days.
Yeah, they were fun days.
My liver can't take that no more.
No. I just thought of a story, but
Yeah.
I guess you could tell it.
We're
if
going
you
to keep
wanted.
it PG-13 the first episode, so I don't know what you're getting ready to say.
No, I was just going to talk about. It was at the time
Mhm.
your fiance's birthday. At the time,
Oh,
and
no.
you started drinking with a buddy of ours.
Oh, yeah, Buddha. I remember this.
These guys were just home from work, having a good time. Tom forgot what special day it was. And,
I did not forget.
And okay,
I
if you
just-
didn't forget, that makes it even worse.
It was
But
bad.
I'm just saying, they built a beer pyramid
No,
on the
not
coffee
they.
table.
There was no they. It was me.
It was you.
He was getting up and throwing his cans away.
Oh, but you were both drinking
Yeah.
that much.
Yeah.
But this pyramid stretched to the sky. It might have been, 10 across at the bottom, and then 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Well,
4,
I
3,
think
2,
it
1.
started as, hey, let's drink a beer. We're waiting for her to get home. You know, well, we might have to have him on at some point and tell the other half of the story. But, he used to come to the house during the summertime. I don't remember if he didn't live close by or whatever. I don't remember. But I remember he came to the house, and he would spend all summer there. We'd hang out, we'd drink beer, we'd cook out, whatever. We both had jobs, but he would just hang out there. He would just live out of our house at that point.
Yeah.
So we were drinking, this is back in the old restaurant days, right? So we had all day long, we worked at night. This particular day I happened to be off. He comes over, she's working her normal day job, and he goes, let's have a beer. So of course, you remember back in the old days, there was no such thing as a beer as it related to me because I don't know how much I was drinking at the time, but I would usually come back with like a 6-pack at a time in my hoodie, right? Am I right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we started drinking, and I was like, it'll be hilarious if I can make a pyramid out of these beer cans, right? Long story short, the pyramid gets built. We have drank an appreciable amount of alcohol, and she gets home, right? I see her car pull in the driveway. We've completely lost track of time, and now I've lost track of the fact that it's her birthday. We knew it going into it, but once you pull the old cord and the engine gets started, we're drinking, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh shit, I don't know what to do. At that point, I was sitting in the recliner. Our buddy, his nickname is Buddha, he's on the couch. So I, in my genius state, I said, Buddha, switch seats with me, right? So we just get up like the Stooges and switch seats. And she comes in the door. Now, mind you, of course, we're not together anymore, maybe because of events like this. She looks at me and goes, did you drink all that beer? And I'm like, of course not. It was Buddha. Because we switched seats. And that I was like, those are all his cans. So anyhow, long story short, we go out to dinner. We make it. I'm sweating bullets, right? Because she makes me drive. I have no business driving. We get to the restaurant, and the restaurant is closed. And she says to me, all right, let's go to the other one out in North Raleigh, which is another 30 minutes north of us. And I just look at her and say, I'm sorry, those were my beer cans. I can't drive. And that's how it started.
Yeah. The disappointment. That's how the disappointment started.
Do you remember the one year that I forgot it altogether and I threw together a surprise party that same day here at your house? Do you remember that?
Here?
It was here. I had to throw it together here.
Okay, I got to be honest. I remember that, but I didn't know you forgot.
Oh, yeah. Put
Did
together
you
in
tell
one
me?
day. Who puts a surprise party together in one day?
Everybody who calls me wants things immediately.
Yeah. You know what the problem with that is the overwhelming guilt of people coming up to her trying to enforce my BS lie. And then it got to such a point where she was so thankful for it. Again, I looked at her and, you know, I can't lie. I'm not a good liar. And we got this thing thrown together. It was a miracle party.
Yeah.
And
That's
and
usually what I do.
2 hours we threw this together. I mean, we had appetizers and drinks, people coming from all over the state. It looked like we had spent months planning.
I got your 6. That's what
You did.
happens.
And then after the third or fourth time, she looked at me and said, I really thank you so much for putting all this thought and effort. I just looked at her and said, I started this morning. I couldn't do it. The level of disappointment across her face, whoosh, immediately was like, you piece of shit. Those were the days. Those were fun times.
Yeah, they were fun times. My God, Tom.
And a marriage ago.
It did turn out. Okay. Just to end it on this note.
Sure.
You were together 9 years?
10
years?
I have no idea.
Got married, divorced in a year.
Yeah.
So it was like.
But there was a profession change.
There was a profession change. Oh, and by the way, I want to say this, and this isn't giving too much away, but supporting this channel, you are giving back to first responders.
Oh my fucking God. We're going to have to cut all this out?
No, we don't have to cut that out. That doesn't mean it. That could be any job. That could be nursing. Are you a nurse?
Nurses are not first responders, you fucking amoeba.
They're in the ER.
First responders respond to you.
Yeah, so there's still a 50-50 on the throw.
Well, there's three.
There's
sets.
3. See? I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
But first responder, you're supporting?
So we're not going to post this first episode.
Oh, come on. But yes, those were good times. And I think this is a perfect place to stop. I think this.
Who has their phone on during a podcast?
Hey,
This is
I've got a
rinky-dink
16-year-old that's out on his first dirt bike trip without me, and I just turned him off immediately.
Oh.
So I'm gonna have to call him back. But I want to say one thing here. I want to say, bear with us. This is our first time trying this, and I enjoyed myself. But I know I might have had a little bit too much to drink, and it's I don't know how much you heard of me in the microphone, but you know, we had a lot of nerves going into this, and it's something that I think grows. I think we're all going to grow together as this moves forward. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and I want to thank Tom for actually doing it with me, and thanks for coming down to Mike's. You got anything?
No, I think we need a one-liner or a sign-out phrase, you know. Down to Mike's works.
Just down to Mike's?
Yeah.
I can't just say down
Thanks
to
for
Mike's.
coming down to Mike's. Got to have the point, though.
We'll work on that. We're gonna work on that. I don't know if I'm there completely, but no. But thanks for coming out, and thanks for watching, and you know, please go ahead, throw the comments. I'm open to it. Let's see what we got to change or what we got to do. I'm open to criticism.
Yeah.
Let's move this thing forward.
I say for the first 1,000 comments, we see the Mike tattoo.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we should say that.
1,000 comments.
1,000 comments.
1,000 comments, and we show the Michael tattoo.
1,000 comments, and I got to take my shirt off.
Well, you got to show the Michael tattoo. So yeah, I mean, the good news is 3/4 of your back.
You
won't
do
show.
realize that
It's not my podcast. You can say whatever the hell you want.
I'm just saying that this could backfire on you, because at some point I'm going to say something about 1,000 comments, and you're going to have to do it.
That might happen.
Okay. Well, we're not exactly saying either of these things, but but I think episode 1's in the books. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, thanks for joining us here at Down to Mike's.